Good afternoon, everyone, and Ghost Vapor Reviews here today, and I'm going to be doing a review on the Reuleaux RX75 device by Wismec. And before I do that, let me take a little vape off my iJust 2 Mini with the Support RDA on it. It's not too bad of a device, I'll be doing a review on this later, so I'll let you know some of the pros and cons and some things and device stuff about this. It's pretty amazing, but let me take a vape on this. Alright, not too bad. Alright, let's get into review. So today what we're going to be looking at is the Reuleaux RX75 device by Wismec. As you can see here, you see what the mod looks like. It comes with the Amore mini tank, and the side of the box is the same on the other side. You have your scratch code right here to see authenticity. Reuleaux RX75 kit. Vaped by Twistin 420, inspired, my bad, and designed by Jabo. On top you have the Wismec.com. You go there and check out their devices and all their products. Wismec on the bottom, and like I said, on this side it's the same as the other side. So without further ado, let's go look inside the box. Alright, so when you're looking inside the box, this is the first thing you see. You see the mod here. I have the red and black edition. It also comes in black and cyan, black and white, and I believe it comes in full black, to where it means this red part in here will be completely black along with this outside parts. So without further ado, let's go look at the mod, and this is what you get. You have the mod here, your Amore mini tank, and you also have two drip tips. Unfortunately, I broke one of my drip tips when it came out of the drip tip adapter. It didn't want to exit the drip tip adapter, so I had to apply some force, and that didn't work out too well. That drip tip didn't last. So all I have left is the smoky type plastic drip tip. It kind of looks like a smoked out color. Here, I'll show you in a couple seconds. It's kind of hard to get out of there, so I have to use some device. This is what the smoky drip tip looks like, what you get. The other one was completely clear plastic, so it kind of looked like a glass drip tip in a way. But it's a pretty nice little drip tip, kind of small bore, so it's not really airflow type style. But the tank alone actually isn't good for airflow that much, even though it's a 0.2 ohm coil that comes with it. But it's actually a perfect draw. Let's see. Let's get the mod out of here first. So as you guys can see here, this is the Reuleaux RX75 mod by Wismec in the Amore mini tank. It's pretty sweet, so set that aside, and we'll see what else is in the box underneath it. Alright, so first thing you'll be greeted... Well, that was easy. First thing you'll be greeted with is this box, and when you open it, you have all of your accessories, so let's take a look at what's inside there. Alright, that's everything. Your coils won't come like this. They'll come in separate individual packages. In here, you'll get two individual screws that I'll show you what they're for later. You will get two coils with them. They're not going to look like this, obviously. I put them in there just because I've been using this for a couple weeks now, and I had nowhere to put them because I just wanted to check them out. So I took them out of their individual packages. So this is what this looks like. There's two coils and two backup screws in there. And this right here is the door they come with that's actually see-through. So let me take that out of the package and show you what I mean. It's kind of like a smoked plastic, kind of like that drip tip I just showed you. And you can see how you can see through it. It's kind of like a smoked out tinted plastic in a way. You can set, and it's a magnetized door, and I'll show you where that connects to later. It's obviously on the front of the device, but right here, those little screw holes, those are what those screws are for. So I'm going to put that back in the package, and we're going to take a look at the mod. Alright, so now we have those set aside. Also, what you'll be greeted with in that box, everything that fell out, you'll be greeted with your Wismec RX75 booklet for your user manual. And also you'll be greeted with the user manual for your Amore mini tank that comes with the device. So we'll set those aside, and now we can take a look at the main prize. So this is what we have here, is a single 18650 battery mod. That you can put a single 18650 in there. Magnetized door. It's pretty good. Nice and durable. Full metal body. right here is your mini screen underneath the door flap that actually comes down. This is where you can replace this door for the see-through door, the one I just showed you. Here's your wattage up and wattage down buttons, and here's your mini screen. I don't have a battery in here at the moment, so let's go and put one in. Alright, now that I have an 18650 battery in here, this is what your mini screen looks like. It's nice, sleek, and it goes from 1.1 watts. Let's go all the way down to 1.1. It goes pretty fast. Or I thought it used to go to 1.1. It's actually 1.0, so my bad. And it goes from 1 watt all the way up to 75 watts. And it goes up. It does not round robin, so you're up at 75. See your battery indicator down here. It's a little blurry, my bad. But yeah, you also have your voltage, your ohm reader, your puff counter, and your amperage. So we're going to go ahead and go through a couple of the settings on here. So yeah, first off, we're going to turn off the mod so I can show you some of the features off there. So it's 5 clicks to turn it on and off. As you can see, it's off. So if you hold the fire button and wattage up button, or no, wattage down, my bad, I'm sorry. As soon as you hold that down, you'll get your battery voltage reading. So it'll show you that you're reading 3 volts or whatever your battery says. While it's off, if you hold your wattage up button and your fire button together, I believe it flips your screen, we'll see. Yep, oh no. Actually, it brings you into your TCR settings. So you can go and check out your TCRs and everything like that. So we'll wait for it to turn off. It's off. So let's see what happens when you hold both of these together. Oh, okay, it flips your screen, so you can look at it while you're vaping like this or whatever. So we'll flip that back, and we'll turn on the mod. So, screen's flipped, back to normal, turn it on 5 clicks. It's on at 75 watts, we'll just turn that down because it's a little high. Sorry, I'm not too fond of high wattage vaping because it just gets a little too hot. Unless I'm in a cloud competition, but usually I like to run it around 45 watts. It's not too powerful and it's not less, you know what I mean? So it's just around the right perfect area. So you have your power mode. If you hit the button, the fire button 3 times, you go into your menus. As you can see, this will start blinking up here. You can change that to, if you press your, okay, wrong button. Anyway, if you use this button, wattage down button, you can change it to go to different settings on your menu. This is the puff counter. You can switch that to go to, alright, let's go back into the menu. Alright, back into the menu. If you click the fire button, it actually puts it back into wattage mode. So you can go back into the menu whenever it likes to go back into the menu. I don't know why it's not going into the menu right now. Come on. Thank you. Alright, so it's starting to blink up there. You can actually see it blinking on top. This is where you can change your mode to power mode wattage. And for some reason it's not working. I don't understand. One moment. Alright guys, we're going to go back into the menu now. I just got it to switch. So we're going to go back into the menu, 3 clicks. And we're back into the menu now. If we use the wattage up button, we can actually change it to go to bypass, power, temperature nickel from 200 degrees to 600 degrees Fahrenheit and around robins to Celsius. So we can go to nickel, titanium, stainless steel, memory mode TCR 1, and back to power wattage mode. So we're going to click the fire button and we're going to go back into wattage mode. So now that we're here, we're going to go show you a little bit about the tank now. Alright, so this is your Amore Mini by Wismac, and it's a top fill design. This is where your drip tip goes, obviously. Let's take this top off. You have O-ring seals up on top, so it seals completely to this glass and this metal chimney. This glass is completely rechangeable, so you can take this off and you can replace your glass. As you can see, you have your 2 red O-rings right there. You can also replace those O-rings and possibly get different color ones, like the cyan or the black O-rings or white ones, and it would be pretty customizable. So to take your coil out, all you do is you spin this. It doesn't like to spin, so one moment. You just spin this chimney off until this part starts coming out, and then your coil's inside there, so let me take it out for you. Alright, we can unscrew it now. And here's where your coil sits into the bottom piece, and your airflow is actually down here as well. It's one of the style tanks that has your hidden airflow, so the only thing that controls it is this outer ring right here, this black ring. It actually controls your airflow, and here's your two slots. There's one here, and then there's one over here on this side. And this is your coil. It's a 0.2 ohm triple parallel build. It actually works pretty well. Nice flavorful hits and everything. It's pretty good. So we're going to screw this back on. Actually, no. We're not going to screw this back on. Even though this is a pre-saturated wick inside of this coil, because I've used it before, we're just going to put a little bit more drops of juice in there. And today I'm going to be using Bad Drip cereal trip juice. And it's actually supposed to be flavored after Fruit Loops. And I'll tell you what, I use this in my RDA all day long, and especially in the morning times. It tastes exactly like it explains. It's really good. So we're going to give this a little shake, because it says to, and it also gives you a little bit more flavor. And we're going to take this coil and we're going to put a few drops of juice in it, because it's already been pre-saturated, so we're just going to put a little drops in it to get it fresh. So put a little drops in the top, a little bit on the side, and we're good to go on that saturation of that wick. So we can go ahead and put this chimney stack back on there and screw it on and put it all back together. I'll be right back for you. Alright, now I got the chimney screwed back on, and we're going to put the glass tank part, the Pyrex, back onto the O-rings, slide it on, just like so. Make sure this bottom airflow ring actually stays on to the metal O-rings down there, because it also is it's held on by O-rings, and it likes to slip off all the time. I'm putting my tank back together. So now that we have our tank back and ready to go and fill, we're gonna, it doesn't matter if you leave your airflow open or closed while you're filling this tank. It really doesn't matter at all, because either way you're gonna fill it and it's not gonna leak. So we're gonna go ahead and fill this tank with some of this Fruit Loop stuff, and it's pretty amazing juice. You guys get a chance to go and buy some, please do. It's pretty good. So it's a 2 ml tank, and we're gonna go ahead and fill it. It's a pretty fast filler. It's not that much juice that needs to be contained inside of here, so yeah, let's go ahead and fill her up and then take a vape off it and tell you what I think. And you guys hear that, it's actually the juice bubbling in the bottle on the table. So go ahead and fill this up. You don't want to fill this up too much, because it'll actually overflow over the top and it will leak out. So I like to usually stop probably about 1 millimeter or 1 centimeter away from the top of this metal chimney part right here, so it won't overflow itself. Because usually I realize that if you overflow it just by a little bit, if you try to make the juice flush with the top of that chimney, it actually will overflow. And as you can see here, this is usually where I like to stop filling my juice. And it'll probably leak out right here, I wouldn't doubt it. So let's go ahead and put the top part back on. I'm going to be using no drip tip, because that's the way I like to vape on this tank. Close it up nice and tight, because it's O-ring sealed. And wipe off a little bit of this juice. Like I said, it'll overflow if you do it too much. So yeah, this is your tank, nice and juiced up, nice and saturated on the wick. So let's go ahead and put it back on the RX75 and take a vape on it. Oh, see, this is what I meant by the airflow ring likes to move a lot. As you can see, there's like a little lip right here between the metal part and the black airflow ring. All you have to do is just like reach your nail inside right here where the airflow connects to the top, and just pull down just a little bit so it makes it flush like you see here. Alright, so we can screw this back onto the RX75 and take a vape on it. And this is show you my thoughts, some of the pros and cons. So yeah. Mods on at 45.2 watts, 0.26 ohms. Let's take a vape. I don't get it. I think this coil is different because usually I get bigger clouds. Let's try. Alright, let's bump up the wattage a little bit because it's not... My coils are pre-saturated, so it's not like it's a brand new coil or anything. I've been using this coil for probably about half a week, maybe a week, so it won't be too fresh. Bump up the wattage is 66.8 watts. See how this vapes. Nice and flavorful, really, really warm vape. I like the way this vapes. It's nice, warm, dense, and really, really flavorful. When I first got this mod, the guy told me that it was actually supposed to be a flavor tank and less than a cloud tank. So I can see where he says about that. It's pretty flavorful. Yeah, guys, so alright, some of the pros and cons about this device is this lock button on top here. As you can see that, this lock button right here, it's not really tight in there, so it likes to rattle a lot. And usually every time I'm trying to vape, and if I hold the device like this, it accidentally locks my fire button, so I can't fire the vape. So I have to unlock it every time I want to go and vape on it. So if Wismec, if you see this, please try to fix that device lock mechanism because it's a little finicky about trying to stay still. As you can see, it rattles a lot, you know what I mean? And usually every time it just locks itself out of nowhere. So yeah, anything other than that, I don't really know much more cons about this other than the fact that the battery door sometimes likes to like this red part. This red part right here likes to come disconnected, as you can see. It likes to come disconnected a lot from this back panel, so you kind of have to push it back in a little bit. It's not too bad. That's something I can deal with, but I don't really like to do that all the time because I'm really afraid of the inside, the internals breaking all the time. So, yeah. I personally like using the see-through door on this because I like to see my screen and see what I'm running, wattage and amperage and all that stuff to make sure I'm safe. So I like the way that Wismec did that. Thank you. And, oh yeah, you have your battery venting and stuff like that, your chip venting all up on top here. You have a couple vents down on the bottom here. Mine's a little scratched up, but it does say Reuleaux RX75, designed by J-Bo, manufactured by Wismec, and inspired by vaping with Twisted 420. Also, you have your charging port right here as well, so you can also charge this, because it's a single 18650, you can charge this with the device, and it's probably not recommended because you won't get a full charge on it, and I can tell you from experience, because when I charge my battery, this is a fully charged battery, and within probably a half hour to an hour of vaping, it's not too bad on battery life, actually. It cuts down about a little bit, but as long as you run your wattage right, it'll work good for you. Not too much else to say about this device other than the fact that it's a pretty good 75 watt device. I found this around the shops for around $85 is what I paid for this, and it's really worth it, actually. It's not really bad device at all, and especially in Reuleaux's name, it's pretty good device. 75 watts, it gives you full 75 watts with the single 18650. It's been tested. See what I mean? It just locked itself again, so let's take another vape off it, and I'll let you guys go. And yes, I would go buy another one if I didn't have this today. So yes, it's a pretty good device. I like it. Ghost Vapor Reviews here, and I'm signing off. Thank you.